Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jerron Dove, and I am back with another video. Thanks for all of the comments and likes on my most recent anime unboxing, and I am back with some good old pro wrestling goodness, and thankfully that means a brand new belt review. Now, this is a belt that I have actually had for quite a few months. If my memory serves me correct, I got this one back in, I want to say probably early to late August, but just due to my schedule now and that I don't have the kind of free time that I used to, I'm just now getting around to filming. So without further ado, let's see the newest addition to my collection. And I kind of went through the hassle of getting it out the original box so that wouldn't detract from it. This is a lovely carrying case that it came in. I ordered this off of eBay. And as we can see from the bag, it was re-leathered by a company by the name of Legacy Belts. I believe I went to that website. But I didn't order it from a Legacy Belt store. I ordered it from a typical eBay user. So let's take a look. And this is actually been on my wish list of belts to get for quite some time. May surprise some of you since I have a belt that's very similar, but nonetheless, this belt is quite different. And as always, it's a little trouble getting them out of these bags. Here we go. Okay. Ta-da! This is the WWE Winged Eagle version of the World Heavyweight Championship. This is the casted replica version. Now, I'm not sure of all the specs, but I believe it was back in, I started collecting belts in 2013 for the most part. So somewhere around that, it was in that year, I started hearing about these kind of belts, and I didn't really pay no attention to them. But basically, these casted replicas, the plating is the size of the plates, I believe, are 4 millimeters thick, 4 millimeter thick plates. They have a much more of what I would call a TV feel, as you could kind of just look at the etching. The etching is much more, kind of more 3D, more realistic, more along the lines of the actual belt that you would see on television. More realistic, more lifelike, basically. Here, a look at the plates. And of course, this belt was re-leathered. And for, of course, evidence, here is the original strap the belt came on from the factory. And as you can see, it has, I believe, 2013. So that was when the year that these belts were produced. Of course, the WWF logo, WWE logo, I just love that side logo. It's so old school. Of course, some of the gold tip. You can see the re-leather, the leather job. And this belt is just very smooth. The cut is so, precise. The hand tool snap box, and that is the Legacy Belts logo right there. This leather work is just immaculate. And don't know, I guess it may be the best re-leather I've done. Most of my belts, actually all of my belts, with the exception of one, which I would actually call that the best one, the World Heavyweight title replica I have, which was done in the cranberry crocodile backing, which I strongly believe was done by Lucky Hands, who was one of the more renowned belt makers. But the majority of my belts have been done by Romeo Anderson. I have no complaints from him. I love his style. Some people in the internet belt community would say otherwise, but he's never done wrong by me, and I've always been impressed with the quality of his work. As you can see, this is just a sign of a great re-leathering job. You always want the screws to be nice and covered. Just look very just smooth, just top grade leather job. You can tell if you're a belt collector, you can pretty much tell a good leather job from a bad one, and this would definitely rank in what I would call a very good one, if not great. Flexibility, just, I mean, once again, that's a true sign of a great leather belt. I mean, this belt is really just super, extremely floppy. I just love it. And this belt, now if you all remember, a year ago, it was probably right close to a year ago, I had purchased a white, same style belt. It wasn't casted replica, but the general replica of the Winged Eagle belt. I had it re-leathered on all white leather, in which I just definitely want to stand out belts in my collection. So you may ask, why am I basically ordering the same belt with just black leather when I'm, and my thing is just that the white leather was something too cool to pass up. I mean, that was just something I had to have, and I always did want to get the black leather, the traditional black, being that this was the version held by pretty much every major star of the 90s, and really from 1980, I don't know if it was 1988, is that the exact year the Winged Eagle was introduced, but I mean, the list of men who have held this belt is a who's who of WWE legends: Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, the late Macho Man Randy Savage, and Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, and I believe the last man, actually, interesting trivia, the last man to hold this version of the belt was Steve Austin. Austin won this belt at WrestleMania 14 from Shawn Michaels, and the next on Raw, they introduced the new quote-unquote Attitude version of the belt. So this has just always been one of my favorites. Just I forgot Sergeant Slaughter held it as well. Ric Flair. Got to mention some other legends in there. My memory mind slips at the moment. And what better way to kind of see the differences between these two belts than to do a little comparison? So luckily, I have my good old white re-leathered version, so we can just kind of compare and see the difference. As you can see, if you just putting this belt over this one, this belt is definitely longer. The re-leather job was definitely on a much longer strap. Of course, the hand tool snap box, as you can see. This belt has a curve, which I love in my belts. I don't really have to have it, but a curve just really adds another dimension to it. And as you can tell, the difference between the plates, as you can see, these are the standard 2mm plates, while, of course, this one, 4mm, they're much thicker. And the etching, which is probably the truest test of the difference, the etching on the casted version is it's much more, I guess, it's thicker, of course, because the plates are thicker, but it just appears to be much more, I guess 3D is the best word I can say. I'm trying to think of something else that sounds a little more better, but more poetic. But really just more sticks out to you, whereas this one is much really, as you can tell by this plate, just really is thinner. Not that much give to it as this one. Just you can tell just by the little ridges, the ruffles in these wings. And even just kind of compare that compared to this one. But nonetheless, this is still one of my favorites. I mean, both these belts, I like them equally, and as with all my belts, I am never selling them, no matter what the price. So these are going to be in my collection forever. And I just, great steal. This is probably will be the last belt I get for quite some time. Of course, one, due to the fact that I am married now, so I have to worry about my finances. I can't be as, I don't want to say reckless. I've never been, like that with my money, but I can't be spending on the non-essential items like I was a year ago. So just be a little more wise with my money. And also, since the last time I did a belt video, there's been a major change in the wrestling belt community. Apparently there was some kind of, I don't know if it was a lawsuit or what, but WWE pretty much the only place that you can order replica belt WWE replica belts from now is WWEshop.com. You can no longer get them through Figures Inc. or a lot of other sites, and they're actually becoming more and more scarce on eBay. There has been some type of lawsuit filed, and I guess until things are resolved, no other the replica belts are really running in short supply. You can't get them from the third-party sellers like you once could. So that's made these belts even more rare. So if I do, that's kind of another reason. I don't really think there's any other belt on the horizon that I would actually want. I've always been curious. I've always been interested in getting the Intercontinental belt, and thankfully they have that belt in mass supply on WWE Shop. So if I ever did decide to get it, that would be no problem, and get it re-leathered. But I think, and actually I want to say one other thing, and this I have to say it because of course last night was Monday Night Raw, and my goodness, usually on these videos I don't talk, I really keep it more focused on the topic of what I'm reviewing, but my goodness, did Seth Rollins turn out what may have been the best performance of the year. That final segment on Raw where he kind of goaded Cena into reinstating the Authority was, Seth Rollins has had a tremendous year. He's definitely my pick for Wrestler of the Year, but my goodness, he just took it to another level. This guy has proven to me that he is by far the #1 heel in just not WWE, but all of wrestling. And I am just so looking forward to what the future holds for this guy. He is just tremendous. So I had to just mention that because it was just, I'm still in shock of just how awesome Rollins was in that final segment. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And just one more time, let me just give you a little parting shot. This is the Winged Eagle casted replica. Casted version of the Winged Eagle replica belt, made popular in the 90s in WWF, now WWE, and this is the original Winged Eagle replica I had re-leathered last year. So two of my all-time favorites. I'm so glad I finally got the black one now. I can rest a little easier. There will be many more videos coming your way. This past summer, I acquired a lot of professional wrestling merchandise, a lot of some new action figures, a lot of just old school magazines, memorabilia. So, and since I'm on my winter break from my job, I will definitely be uploading a lot of more content, since this is likely the best time I'll have to actually dedicate to some videos. So if you enjoy this, like, comment. I try my best to respond to every comment I get. Check out my blog, my Google Plus page, and just hope you enjoyed it. Spread the word. Hope you all had a fabulous Christmas. Have an even better New Year's, and I will see you later. Bye.